I know that Nadine Dorries was trying out or trying her hand on Talk TV the other day. But I had a look at a thing today and I was appalled. It was hosted by a man called Mike Graham, and he was interviewing a fellow called Dr. S. Chalvin of the 33 Bedford Road Chambers. He's a migration lawyer, a barrister, and it was one of the nastiest interviews, one of the most aggressive interviews I think I have ever seen in my life. It's nothing to be proud of. This man was calmly advancing the issues. He was pointing out quite clearly the things that I've been saying for a while. There are many, many cases outstanding. The homework simply haven't done their job. They haven't processed the paperwork. I think he said there were 120,000 cases with decisions still pending. Those are the cases that we know of. Those are the cases that are already in the bureaucratic system. There are many more that have not actually got that far. Now, as each case takes 480 days on average to process, that's a huge amount of time to clear even that bit of the backlog. And Mike Graham was talking about the rumours, the suggestions that maybe refugees or asylum seekers are going to have to be housed in tent cities. As Dr. Chalvin points out, simply a proposal, not a certainty at this particular moment. He says it's bizarre, but he also says it's no more bizarre than the threat to send people to Rwanda. These ideas to intimidate people who are already in the system is like closing the door after the horse has bolted. These people are already in the system. We have to clear that system. Whatever message we send to people who are trying to come across the channel, or people who are trying to enter our country legally or otherwise in a sort of conventional or unconventional way, that is a second issue, a secondary issue. This backlog and the huge amount of money which is being spent on hotels every day until that backlog is cleared will not be reduced until we have more civil servants, more hands on deck to sort out the clearing of this gigantic, enormous backlog. And harping along about rhetoric and Rwanda is not a solution. We're not going to stop wasting money, because this is a waste of money. This is a categorical waste of money. If these people are genuine refugees, then they should be processed as fast as possible so they can be put into the workforce, so they can start earning money and feeling the dignity of being part of our country. If they're not genuine refugees, then we need to have the statistics so that we can deport these people and they can go back to leading some profitable or non-profitable life elsewhere. It's very simple. At the moment, we are living in some sort of cloud cuckoo land where we are simply basking on the rhetoric of some crazy people. Now, Dr. Chalvin said that of the majority of people who have been processed so far, most of them are genuine refugees. This is indeed exactly what I've heard. Most of the people who are coming here are genuine refugees, even those who come by irregular means. And indeed, most of the people who cross the channel are proving to be genuine refugees. Mike Graham's intemperate response to this was, well, then maybe the way in which we are judging these people is wrong. Well, I go back to the same point that I've been making endlessly. If our law is wrong, we need to change it. If it's our national law that's wrong, then we need to change it. But mostly, if we don't like refugees coming to this country, if we don't like people asking for our assistance, then we need to withdraw or change the 1951 Convention about Refugees and the 1967 addendum. And we need to have an international conference. But clearly we don't like international conferences because we can't be bothered to represent ourselves at the COP27, which we are supposedly the president of. This is madness. We are sending out such absurd signals to the rest of the world, and it's time we pulled ourselves together. And meanwhile, if Mike Graham is the face of Talk TV, along with Nadine Dorries, I think people really ought to be switching off. This is an embarrassment.